Hello everyone, welcome back to another video lecture. In this video, we are going to see shear force and bending moment diagram on a simply supported beam with uniformly varying load. So without any further delay, let's see the concept. Shear force and bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam carrying uniformly varying load. Uniformly varying load. So in the previous video lectures, we already gone through shear force bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam carrying uniformly distributed load, and also we learn about shear force bending moment diagram for point load and for eccentric loading. Now in this video we are going to learn shear force and bending moment for a simply supported beam carrying uniformly varying load. Okay. So for our case, we'll try to see that beam. Let us say it's our beam A and B. So uniformly varying load, we already know what is uniformly varying load. So each and every unit length, the load is going to vary. So in our case, we'll take for 0 at the end, each end, okay, and maximum in the center. That means it looks like a triangle. We are taking this kind of uniformly varying load. Okay. So the load is 0 at the ends, that is A, B, and it is maximum at the center. So let's say O, and the weight is W divided by unit length. Okay, and let's say this is the total length. L is our total length, and this part will be L by 2, L by 2. Is it clear? So now what is the first step? How to calculate the support reaction? In this case it is little different than the previous one. So it is how it looks like. It is varying each and every unit length. For each and every unit length, the magnitude is different. So that means the reaction is depending upon the magnitude of the load, right? What is the first step? To calculate the support reaction, right? To calculate support reaction. Okay, so summation of vertical forces equals to 0. I will write RA, that is RA and RB are unknown. RB, RA upward direction, RB for direction. So taking all the upward direction positive, that is RA plus RB minus, here is the interesting part. So we are taking this, it looks like a triangle, right? So what is the area of a triangle? It is half into base into height. So half multiplied by W, that is a load, into length. Okay, this will be your height, or it will be your breadth, equals to 0. Clear? I will repeat it again. RA plus RB minus, because the downward direction, and it looks like a triangle, half into load into distance. Okay, so total entire distance it is going to apply in a shape of triangle. Clear? So now I can write RA plus RB equals to half into WL. So I'm taking this into right hand side. So I can write RA plus RB equals to WL by 2. Clear? Now, like I mentioned before, the reaction of the support will be equals to their magnitude, right? I will write a note so it will be clear. The reaction, so I will write the reaction of the support, the reaction of the support will be equal and the reaction of the support will be equal, because here it is the load is 0 and here the load is 0, right? And their magnitude will be the half of their magnitude will be half the total load, on the entire length. Here the reaction of the support will be equal and their magnitude will be half of the total load. So the reaction supports, the support reaction, that is RA and RB, will be equal because it is having the same kind of loading, and magnitude of these two will be half of the load. So the total load, that is W by M, half of this will act on the entire length. So that's what I written here. Now I can write RA equals to RB equals to how much? So it is the half of the total load, half the total load. So let's see what is the half of the total load. We'll calculate here. That is, let's say RA equals to half the total length, total load, that is half into WL by 2, because we know that RA plus RB equals to WL by 2, right? So it will be that our reaction at A will be half of the total load which is on entire length L, right? Now I can write RA equals to, from this, WL by 4, right? Now we'll find out the RB. So like I said, RB is equals to half of the total length, half of the total load. So I can write RB equals to half the total load, right? So from here I can write half into WL by 2. So from here RB will get WL by 4. So like I mentioned before, the reaction supports, the support at the reaction will be equal, that is RA is equals to RB. So now we'll find out shear force, that is our second step, right? Yeah, shear force F. We'll find out shear force at A, right? That is FA. So from we are coming from here, that means we have to calculate all the reactions which is on the left. So at this point, at this reaction, at this point A, there is no left hand side support or reaction, any other reaction. So shear force at A will be equals to RA, right? What is RA? We already determined in the first step, that is WL by 4. So here we go, shear force at A is WL by 4. Now shear force at B, shear force at B. So FB, that means we are moving from here to here. So consider all the forces which is on the left of this particular point. So we have RA, we have the uniformly varying load, that is W upon L M, and any other load? No. So F will be RA minus W minus the total load, right? Minus the total load. So why minus? We know that so we are coming from the left, that means it is positive. If you take right, it is negative. So this is the sign convention for shear force, right? So don't get confused. So whatever going on your left from here, so this will be positive because it is going upward direction like this, and the remaining total load will be downward direction. So that's why we took minus total load. So FB equals to, so what is the total load? We know RA is WL by 4, right? Minus the total load will be WL by 2. So from here I can get shear force at B, that is minus WL by 4, right? Minus WL by 4. We got shear force at A, we got shear force at B. Now we'll find out shear force at C. So which is here. So this point we consider as C. Okay, C, this point. Shear force at C for uniformly varying load. So that means it is maximum here. So there is no shear force. So that's why FC equals to 0. So we got shear force at A, B and C. Now we'll find out bending moment. Step number 3, find out bending moment, right? So we'll take bending moment at A, that will be, sign convention for bending moment will be, if it is sagging, that is because of the load, if it is smiling, that is sagging, we take it as positive, right? Clockwise, anti-clockwise and clockwise. So if it is hogging because of the load, we take it as negative, that is hogging bending moment, right? So this is a sign convention. So we'll take moment at A equals to, so moment at A, that means you have to come all the way from right to left. For shear force, we are going left to right, we are going from right to left, that is RB into what is the total length? L minus the entire load. So total length, I will write in shortcut, that is T and L into L by 2, right, into L by 2. So what we get? WL by 4, we know RA equals to WL by 4 into L minus WL by 2 into L by 2. We know total load equals to WL by 2. So from here we can write WL square upon 4 minus WL square upon 4. So we got, get cancel, we got MA equals to 0. We know it supports the bending moment is always 0, right? Next we'll find out bending moment at B. Okay, bending moment at B, that is MB equals to RA. So here, coming all the way from here, that is RA multiplied by L minus total load into L by 2, right? So same as it is what we get. So RA is WL by 4 into L minus total load, that is WL by 2 into L by 2. So WL square by 4 minus WL 4 by L square by 4. So both are get cancelled. We got 0, that is moment at B equals to 0, right? Moment at B is 0. Now we will find out moment at C, this point. For your convenience, I will show the diagram. This it looks like bending moment at C, this point, this length. So that is L by 2. So half of the total span. So bending moment at C, that is MC equals to RB. So here, so coming all the way from B into L by 2, that is the length, load into perpendicular distance L minus half into L by 2 into W. Because it is uniformly varying load, we will take half of this total length. So that is half into this base into height, that is W, right, into L by 2 upon 3, right, that is 1 by 3. So from here we can get WL, that is RB equals to WL by 4 into L by 2 minus WL by 4 into L by 2 into 1 by 3. So from here I can write WL square upon 8, right, 4 multiplied by 2, 8 minus WL square upon 4 into 2 is 6, 4 into 6. So from here I can write W 3WL square minus WL square upon 24, right. From here I can get 2WL square upon 24. 1 12 we get WL square upon 12 as MC. That is the maximum bending moment at C, right. So once again I will repeat. So RB into length minus triangular section load, that is half into L by 2 into W into the maximum bending will be here, that is L by 2 divided by 3, third portion of this total span. So we got MC equals to WL square upon 12, right? Now we'll draw the shear force and bending moment. Shear force and bending moment. First draw the free body diagram. Two supports support it, A and B. Here is C and it is UDL. Uniformly varying load. The length of this span beam will be L and it is L by 2, L by 2. The peak point in the center is O. So now extend these lines to draw shear force and bending moment. Right? Draw the baseline first. And what is the value of shear force at A? That is WL by 4, which is equals to reaction at A, right? So it is in positive, so increase the height above the baseline. Then it is 0 at C. It is 0 at C. That means you have to come back to 0. Then it is going into negative. At B, the value is minus WL by 4. So it go back to down and then it is inverse parabola and it is at B, A and it is 0 at C. Clear? Now it is positive, it is negative. Shade this part. I will try to draw bending moment. So baseline first, then shear bending moment at A and B are 0 because at supports the bending moment will be 0 and it is maximum at C. Join the line, it is a parabola, right? So this value will be WL square upon 12. So it is positive. So it is positive. Shade the bending moment part. So this is point C. So this is how it looks like for uniformly varying load. So we almost completed for point load, for eccentric load, for uniformly distributed load. Now we came to know about how it looks for uniformly varying load. So in the next class we'll see some more problems on shear force and bending moment diagram. Till then, take care, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and see the playlist of strength of materials.